this is anybody who watched the Christmas special got a sense of what the Doctor's going to be like. He's going to be a bit more. No, he's been played by for Sam. Did you ever watch Sex Education?
Sex Education.
I did.
Not sex on
Netflix.
On Netflix. Yeah, Sex Education.
No. Unfortunately, I haven't.
Right, so the Doctor's been played by one of the characters that he's.
Sam, he's in the Barbie movie as well. Black Barbie.
He is a Ken. Yeah.
Oh, is he? He was in that Marvel series with Samuel L. Jackson. He played the evil guy. He played the bad guy.
No, that's a different fella.
Okay. All right.
That's the guy who played Bob Marley. No, this is a different fella.
Yeah, that's the Bob Marley actor. No, not him. Okay, fair enough.
No, not him. No. So his name is Ncuti Gatwa. He is.
Oh yeah, I know him. Sorry, Ncuti Gatwa. Yeah. I see Alexia posting all the time. Yeah.
So he's a new Doctor. Now the first thing on his own was the Christmas special, which was the church on Ruby Road. I believe I'm saying that right. So we have. So he basically saved a lot of people from being eaten by a goblin. That was the whole
Goblin King and the Goblin song.
Yeah.
All hail the Goblin King.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some people. I think Alexia wasn't a big fan of that particular episode.
I don't remember what I gave it as a rating, but it was a fine, one-off. Hey, this is our introduction. Wasn't much meat to it, I suppose, but it's a good thing for Zam to watch as a first, just jump on point.
Yeah, I need a jump on point.
But I would say
watch the 60th. Just watch the Christmas special.
Yeah, what's this? I think the 60th was pretty good, but I would say the Christmas special.
Is that on BBC iPlayer?
It is. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, with that said, I'll probably start with myself here. But what are your thoughts on Ncuti? What's your hopes for Ncuti Gatwa? So far, I'm liking him because he's a lot more upbeat. He doesn't have Matt Smith's annoying turn of head or the way he phrases stuff or his body language. He's a lot more expressive with his body, but he's a lot more and anything that upsets the right wing idiots about he's going to gay clubs and he's doing all this and he's talking about having gay relationships.
He was wearing a skirt.
Oh no! Yeah, is that
wearing rainbow colours? Oh my god! Which doctor's never done that? Yeah.
No, Tom Baker did it in the 60s.
I know. I'm just saying they all pretty much did it, So
yeah. So, but yeah, I'm hoping that again, he manages to read some of it in because he can be a bit annoying when he's like that. He's hyper all the time, and I think there will be stages where he's a lot more.
Yeah.
For example, if you have not watched Sex Education, which Sam hasn't, he is a lot more restrained in that. There's bits in it where he's really vulnerable and stuff like that. The person who bullies him a lot, he has a sexual relationship with him, but his bully doesn't want to come out that he's bisexual and stuff like that. And there's a lot of incidents, and he's really caring and really cool in those particular sequences. Yeah. And so I'm going to go around to my right, Alexia. What do you hope for Ncuti as a Doctor?
I will actually say now that you've, I'll follow on from what you said, because not only does he definitely have range, but I felt one thing I did like about Ruby Road is that you did see range there. In fact, he's the second Doctor Who to cry on camera. After Eccleston. Yeah, Eccleston in his second episode.
Oh.
But Eccleston, bearing in mind, it's nearly 20 years earlier, Eccleston still had to male action hero cry. So his face is still, and a single bead of tear rolls down his cheek. Where the
Hold on. You're forgetting about David Tennant in The Rain.
Oh, actually, no. David. Oh, sorry. David Tennant arguably cries a few times, with almost in tears in the Regeneration, isn't he?
Oh, right. End of
It's
time.
hard to tell if he's
But,
actually crying real
they
tears.
got around him crying by letting it rain.
Yeah, but
He was just standing in the rain.
Shooty cries ugly, as they say in the trade, and you don't often see. I'm surprised that the Gammons didn't complain about that. I think maybe one or two of them did. I do admit it did seem like a bit of an overreaction in the moment, because like, did you forget that you're the time travel guy? Like, God, if only there were a way to go back and fix this so that Ruby wasn't killed. Oh wait, I can. I am the person who can do that. That's what I do. It's my MO. But that's the other problems with the church on Ruby Road. I don't feel I've met this doctor beyond the wackiness of his first appearance when they're disoriented when they're first regenerated. This one, I still feel he's all over the place. And it's not my kind of Doctor Who episode. And of course, it is a sign of things to come, that it was magic, which obviously, I think the idea is that post Toymaker, you can just do outright fantasy. The musical aspect, I love musicals, but the thing is, when you do musicals, at least on screen, you've got to get, and I think the more you know musicals, the more you love musicals, the more this bothers you. You've got to get the diegetics right, and you pick your diegetics and you stick with them. The second they start joining the song and either the goblin conductor or whatever, or lead singer just goes along with it. The goblins just go along with, oh, they're in our musical now. Yeah, that's too silly. Whether they'll do a full, maybe the Devil's Cause will be a full musical. Maybe they'll, and with the maestro,
with Jinx.
Yes, who definitely isn't
I'm
the
excited
master.
for that.
Indeed. Well, we're going to have to see who in RTD2 is going to be the campest villain. We've had Neil Patrick Harris. We're going to have not Michael Groff, what's his name? Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Ross?
No, Groff.
Okay, about to say. Okay.
The guy who played King George in
yeah.
And the guy who played, I think he played Agent Smith in the latest Matrix as well.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that film was awful. Anyway, go
on. But Alexia, is that everything you got to see on Shooty, or do you have
my thoughts about Shooty Gatto? I haven't seen all the Sex Education. Seen Barbie, I was actually seen a Horrible Histories movie, but not very much. But he's kind of the Kenneth Williams of the Horrible History does Romans. Yeah, of him as a doctor, I was already thinking Black Matt Smith or Black Gay Matt Smith. Obviously, you're not as big a fan of the 11th Doctor as I am. He's my favourite of New Who, so I'd love another 11th Doctor. I was hoping that Jodie would be, but she didn't really get a chance to be. She didn't get as good a script as Matt Smith. But okay, let's not bring up that era. I think he's got like Jodie Whittaker, she has the potential to be a great doctor, and we'll see. No, I am excited. And obviously, some people do have to overcome their prejudices. However, if people know their facts, Ncuti Gatwa is not, in fact, the first Scottish doctor. So, what do they know?
I had no idea he was Scottish.
Yeah.
I thought it was English.
Yeah, Edinburgh.
Fair enough.
Yes, he's from Kenya or Edinburgh, and his accent's kind of like a blur between the two. So, Mr. Donkey, or is it Lord Donkey? Lord Donkey, what is your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I left the Lord off.
What's your Shooty Gatwa thoughts?
I'm excited to see, because he's been great. We ate up Sex Education. It was such a great show. I felt like the show might have been better if Eric was more the co-star than the sidekick almost. But no, we've loved him in that and Barbie. That's all we've really seen him in. So it'll be great to see his range and his I've seen in the trailer they showed off all the costumes. Like,
Mm.
we're watching it on Disney Plus. We get it at 7 p.m. on Friday. Sorry, folks.
Wow.
I know it's not fair. That's not fair to the country of origin getting it at midnight. But
We can watch on the internet at the same time. It'll be midnight here.
yes. I think it should come out at like afternoon on Saturday in the UK, and then let it be a morning program for us. I don't see why we get it at 7. That feels like we're getting catered to thanks to Disney.
It's going to be a
that's
nightmare.
Yeah. What?
It's going to be a nightmare. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, for those of us who are admins of Facebook groups, because of course that'll be a day or two of no spoilers.
Yes, but it's going to be interesting to see this full season of Doctor Who with Disney money. We were just watching the Tales of the Empire for Star Wars Day, and I've been joking all weekend that it's a Jedi holiday, and I don't celebrate May the 4th. I'm Who first, Trek right after it, and then Star Wars is. But anyway, that's another topic. But in between one of the episodes of Tales of the Empire, there was the new trailer for Doctor Who, and he had so many different costumes on. I'm excited to see that. One thing, because I was going back, I did the BritBox subscription over here so that I could watch some classic Who for a while. Mm-hmm. And as I was watching 1, 2, and 3, and some of 4, I started to notice some of the newer Doctors pulling from the past. So it'll be interesting to see where Ncuti is getting his inspiration from. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I'm going to be looking for, hopefully they bring this idea back, is that the Doctor has a dark side. We saw it with David. We saw it with Matt. A little bit with Peter. But it's kind of gone away.
I thought Christopher Eccleston was the one who did it best. Because if you watch the episode Dalek,
yes, that's where it started.
Yeah, like
you would make a good Dalek.
That episode is so good. Because literally, the third time you see the Doctor literally going into famous full Adolf Hitler genocide mode. It's like, why don't you just die? It just literally screaming, why don't you just die to this thing? It's just like, oh my god.
Says, what should I do? Die.
Sam, if you've not watched that episode, I would recommend it to you very, very strongly.
Yeah. Amazing.
But that's something where they were leading towards, because in Classic Who with Colin Baker, we had the Valyard. Yep. And it was kind of like New Who was kind of showing the Doctor's dark side. So I want to see what the 15th Doctor's dark side is going to look like.
Yes.
And let them explore that, because we really got to see that at the end of the 10th Doctor, a little bit with Matt, but it's kind of gone by the wayside a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Zam, as a non-Doctor Who fan, what would you expect to see from Ncuti's Doctor?
Well, I know that he'd become controversial because he's a black guy playing Doctor Who. I guarantee you 10 years ago, if he played Doctor Who, less people would give a shit. But we're in this world now where certain demographics are feeling left out because they were in everything, and now they don't feel they're in everything. I mean, they were so much in everything. They were playing Persians and Chinese people and Mongolians and stuff like that. They were that much in everything, and now you got now things are set up that it makes more sense that other people can play the Doctor, whatever their race or their gender may be. Is pissing a lot of people off. So I'm hoping that this person gives a unique and at the same time Doctor Who-ish type of performance that will, put him in the annals of some of the greatest Doctor Who's of all time. Because we need more variety. Every actor under the sun. There should be an Indian Doctor Who. There should be a Japanese-looking Doctor Who. There should be a Latin American one. All of these different cultures. There should be an Aborigine one, a Maori-looking one. You name it, you fucking put him in there at one particular point. Tamira Morrison should fucking play Doctor Who, for fuck's sake. All of these people. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe not necessarily.
Sam, I think you should be the next Doctor.
Definitely. But yeah, I'm just hoping look, regardless of the doubters, they'll still hate on him regardless because he's black and he's gay. So fuck those people, fuck them.
We don't need them.
You don't need them. They're narrow-minded and stupid, and their grievances should always be suppressed, and they should always shrink it down and go back to where they once was when they weren't able to express their opinions because it was too horrible. Now these dickheads are able to express their opinions, which is what's so bad about this world at this moment in time. They should go back to how it used to be. So I'm hoping he does a good performance and people won't give a shit anymore that he's black and that he's gay, because that's the only thing that is the issue right now.
We don't need those fans. We can afford to lose them, and then we're going to pick up new fans like Zam.
Yes.
Yeah, returning fans, by the way.
Returning fans, that's right.
People don't know. I was a Doctor Who fan, but once the Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann came out, which was so Americana and so awful that it made me never want to watch Doctor Who ever again, I stopped watching it. Now it has gone back to its roots from what I've heard. And with some of the Doctor Who people I've seen who played it in the past, like Tennant and Smith and Eccleston and Capaldi and all these guys, proper Brits playing these roles. So I would like to go. Maybe I would like to go back and hoping that these guys can find a place for me to start.
Well, I could recommend an episode for you right now. Blink.
It would be an episode that will require me to appreciate the episode by knowing other shit from previous episodes.
No. Blink. Okay. Blink is an excellent episode.
Blink. Okay.
It's got a horror element. It's not too heavy on the Doctor.
Nope. He's hardly in it. One. But I'll tell you who is in it. Carrie Mulligan's in it. She's really good in it.
Carrie Mulligan? Why does that name sound familiar?
She's in...
she should come back as a companion.
She was in... What was she in? Drive. She was in... that thing with Bradley Cooper. She's been in loads of American films.
Yeah, Tom Cruise's ex-wife. No, that's somebody else.
No. Carrie Mulligan was in. Oh, hang on, that's there.
I'll Google her. Don't worry.
Okay, Far from the Madding Crowd, Suffragette, The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in loads of stuff. She's been around forever.
Yeah. So So watch Blink. Honestly, it's superb. But yeah, let's talk about companions anyway. Now we brought them up. So Molly Gibson. Molly Gibson is 21, I believe, and is also Mancunian and has started on the series. Now there's rumor that apparently this was going to be her one and only series. People started speculating she's not a good actress. What it turns out actually is that in the next season there's going to be two companions, where the other person's going to be played by Veranda Sethu. If I'm not pronouncing that last name correctly, I do apologize. Is going to be a female Indian companion. So we've got two females, one who's a white Mancunian, one who's an Indian, Middle Eastern, and a black man. So already the flaming recipe is there to piss a lot of these fundamentalist people off.
Let's do it.
I thought her story or the start of it was really interesting. That the fact that she's this orphan who got left at a church. She has a very thick Mancunian accent, which is going to piss off a lot of the. It's like, we're supposed to understand her. Effort, bitch.
What's her accent?
She's Mancunian.
You got to explain it to me, simple American over here.
Right. So she's from the same area. She's from a little bit further away from me, but we're in the same area. We're in Greater Manchester, so she's from Altrincham. So the story is going to be really interesting. I think that's going to be an arc as well. So that's going to be really interesting. So I went to the lecture this time. I'm going to go Zam. What do you think of? Well, I don't know if you know who Molly Gibson is. She was in Corrie. If you've watched Corrie for a little bit.
No, I'm afraid I won't be able to help much. Other than saying that, if she has a Mancunian accent, then so be it. There's more people in this world than just New York and Los Angeles, or in this case, London. So I have no problems with that. I mean, being an Englishman, I can understand the Mancunian accent pretty well. So whatever. If that's what people are griping over, they have some serious first world problems in their life.
No. They're griping over the fact that it wasn't woke enough and that she was getting replaced by this Indian woman.
Okay, I don't know what to say to that.
Maybe she only wanted to stay on one season, wanted to move on. I mean,
which isn't the case. That she's actually staying on for more. There's going to be two companions. So
okay.
There's going to be her and there's going to be that. Sorry,
I thought she was leaving, but
no. It's going to be also this veranda lady. It's going to be her and that veranda lady. There's pictures with them all three together.
I think that could make a good transition. Having one companion on for a season, bring on a new companion, have two of them, have one person leave. I feel like. As long as she doesn't overstay her welcome. I loved Clara with 11, but I feel like with 12, she kind of she overstayed her welcome with 12. She had so many chances to leave the show, and she stayed on, and it would have served 12 better to have a new companion for himself.
Yes,
but. So I don't think it's a bad thing for her to leave after a season. If she's staying on for a second season, great. We'll just have to see.
I think she'll probably be on for at least about 3 seasons if they did that right. And this Veranda lady, hopefully that is it Veranda? Yeah, Veranda. If she has an arc as well, I hope that they resolve that as well. So.
Yeah,
because that's one thing that Russell T Davies is really good at is arcs. So Alexia, what do you think of Molly Gibson?
I never saw her in Coronation Street. What I think of, I think actually, is Church on Ruby Road the only time I've actually seen her act? I think it is. Yeah. Other than what I said before, which is that so far she's a bit of a paint-by-numbers companion. We've seen beyond the mystery, obviously. And I suppose how they might have done Rose 20 years ago, if Rose now.
Rose reincarnated.
Yeah. So hopefully, we've had some variety in companions. Hopefully, somebody from the past or the future, like Classic did, but she's the sort of default that people are sort of used to. Can I point something out that was on? I think it was on a podcast, or was on on somebody's video essay or something that hadn't occurred to me, which is Space Babies is another way. Sorry, the name of this Saturday's episode is called Space Babies. It was a continuing theme. They've got foundlings and orphans and adoption and fosters and Space Babies is another way of saying unearthly children. And of course, this is supposedly it's not they're calling it season 1, annoyingly. But it's not season 1 episode 1. They are calling Church on the Ruby Road episode 1. So it starts with the Christmas special, which does make sense. It felt like an episode 1. But nonetheless, kicking off Doctor Who with unearthly children, and could there be something in that? But otherwise, I don't know what to think of Millie Gibson as an actor, especially. I suppose she's typical. She's what I would expect of a young actor nowadays. Of the character, there's just a lot more to be seen about this character, which we'll know across this season, certainly. And I think more beyond. I think the arc will continue a bit Moffat style into her second season.
Yeah. So I mean, me personally, again, I couldn't give 2 rats' asses. I mean, because the thing is that Molly seems to be a decent actress, and hopefully that her arc resolves. It's just if they unresolve the arc for whatever reason, that I'll start getting annoyed. The next thing is Mrs. Flood or Miss Flood, played by the great Anita Dodson. There's been rumoured that it's partly the Rani. Now, Tazam, do you know who the Rani is?
Dude, I know who Anita Dodson is, but no.
The Rani?
Was
that which doctor was that with?
That's Colin
Devon.
Baker.
With Rani. Is it the
That
Rain
Colin
or
Baker.
Ronnie?
Marley was a female Time Lord who did unethical experiments,
Yeah,
played by Kato Mara originally. But I don't think it's even in but hang on, Zam, you should remember because she's in Sylvester McCoy's first episode.
Yeah, but even then, my memory's hazy. One of the things I remember about Sylvester McCoy was that he used his umbrella as some sort of grappling hook to slide down a rope. That's one of the few things I can remember about what he did. I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm on about.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But an evil Time Lord would be good. Well, an evil Time Lord other than the Master. I don't know if Mrs. Blood, Anita Dobson, by the way, was a massive EastEnders star in the she's OG EastEnders, and she's married to Brian May.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibilities because who was it that they brought back in the 60th as from the companions? Mel.
Bonnie Langford.
She was with Seven.
yes.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
Again.
There's so many loose ends. 60 years. There's so many loose ends they could pick back up.
They could be
you touched on Unearthly Child. We could always see Susan come back. I mean,
yeah.
I want to ask, like, is there what is the name of Doctor Who's species? What is he? Yeah, I mean, that's
Time Lord.
Gallifrey.
Time Lord. Yeah, but okay.
Gallifrey's the planet. So yeah, they're Gallifreyans, and if you graduate the academy on Gallifrey, you become a Time Lord.
And have we ever seen many Gallifreyans?
Yes.
In Doctor Who, we've
Yes.
seen a whole bunch.
They've not really known what to do with the Time Lords.
Yeah. Like literally, like there was because we see him go back to when the Time War was, and like him, like his species basically having wars with the Daleks. It's just horrific, like because because like the Gallifreyans over time, what we would call them, become a totally different people. Like they become really evil. Almost each year.
The whole planet.
Yeah, the whole planet. Because this Time War, like this Time War goes on for like literally.
It's from the gap from Classic Who to New Who is the Time War.
Yeah. So it goes on for 1,000 years.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it ends up with both the Dalek race, with the Dalek race and the Time Lord race to be destroyed, literally being destroyed. Though Davros does come back.
That was the 50th.
Oh, actually, I'm going to say that I'm going to part that for a minute because I want to talk about that for a minute. So, what do people think about the possibility of the Rani coming back? I think we touched about it. Maybe.
Don't ask me. I'm not. I
already said my piece. I'd love to see them pick up some loose ends like that.
Yeah, I would too. Let's see what you think.
Like Time Lords coming back or Time War coming back?
No, the Rani coming back. Right.
It depends. I suppose Anita Dobson is a caliber of actor who could do it. I'm just not sure if the Ranis are likely. Mind you, Mel wasn't a likely choice. We could see a rematch between Mel and the Rani. I guess there's beef there. I think they're more interesting characters. But I don't know. Because obviously we've only seen Kato Mara play. I need to rewatch one recently. I rewatched her first on Mark of the Rani, where it's her and the Master. And I do like the dynamic between Kato Mara's Rani and Anthony Amy's Master. I think maybe some of the basis for when we saw the two Masters in the Moffat era. And there's even like meta jokes because the Rani and the Master, they went to the academy with the Doctor. So she knows him of old and she kind of mocks him for outlandish plans that can easily go wrong and yada yada. Being a bit of a comedy villain when she's a lot more serious. Even if some of the costumes she was so 80s that it's ridiculous, all the shoulder pads and a camp villain. That's the thing. I don't get camp from Anita Dobson's the one in New Who in this era who doesn't seem camp.
So I can ask you one question. Is Doctor Who still got two hearts?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I swear at one point he lost one of his hearts. He was more.
No,
he became more human. That was the Paul McGann thing, wasn't it? He became half human or some shit like that.
You're thinking of the
This-
seventh two-parter. He was undercover of a human.
Oh, okay.
Right. So yeah. So one of the things that's been kind of controversial, and I'll go to lecture with this one, is the redesign of Davros from being a guy who's half Dalek, half not, because apparently it was
Ableist?
ableist. Now, I can tell you what
Oh my god.
yeah. So, what do you think about this, Alexia?
I think that an example of sometimes Russell T Davies hit the nail on the head. He was right about kids crossing the road while texting. He's right about acceptance and normalizing of gay and trans people. He's right about there's a few things like along those lines that he's right about. Changing the design of the sonic screwdriver because it looks too much like a gun, oversensitive. And
Is that why?
that
I
according
hadn't
to
heard that. Hmm.
according to a few articles, though some quite recently, but somebody pointed out there aren't any direct quotes. But he said he made noises along those lines. It's from a few sources. So he said something that implied it.
So he changed it into a TV remote.
Yeah. But the whole Davros thing, I didn't mind it with the was it Children in Need? Yeah, Children in Need thing, because one, it's a prequel, even if it contradicted Big Finish, and that did annoy me. It doesn't fit Davros, but never mind. But it's a Skaro prequel. B, it's clearly not meant to be canonical, which is just as well because it's damn silly.
Yeah.
As much as Julian Bleach is awesome in the role, and Julian Bleach is a great villain without the prosthetics and everything. How they would explain it going forward, if that's going to be Fantasy 2, I don't know. I think Davros has had his day, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
No, if they're giving the master away, then give Davros a rest. And
He's the leader of the Daleks, yeah?
yeah. If the point is that the thing is he's iconic, yes, but one of the things that's iconic about him is the look. It's counterbalanced, and this is an important thing, because yes, Doctor Who and science fiction and storytelling in general have a whole history, as he said, of disabled villains, from Richard III, Phantom of the Opera, baddie pirate, and obviously science fiction, you got Darth Vader, even though Luke is also an amputee. Actually, on that matter, yes, the counterbalancing, bearing in mind we have a good, clever, heroic wheelchair user in this era. I forget the name of the character and the actor, but
with Unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we met her last year. But Doctor Who's always had disabled good guys, including in the second ever season, Dortmund in the Dalek Invasion of Earth. So surely if it's counterbalanced, all you're saying is some bad people are disabled, but so are some good people. And
sure.
And disabled people can be good or bad like anybody. So it does seem pointless to change something as iconic as to be like, okay, we're going to do Star Wars, but this time the whole thing never happens. So Darth Vader just looks normal the whole time.
Yeah, if I could add, I mean, regarding Star Wars, you have Yoda who has a walking stick but can call upon the Force. He's pretty much, I can't think of the alternative word to crippled right now. I'm sorry, forgive me, but he's pretty much like that. But he calls upon the Force to have the flexibility that he does when he's in combat. And in regarding Doctor Who and Davros, I have no problem with him killing him off. When I say permanently, killing him off in a way that you can always revisit him, because we were in a show that deals with time travel.
Yeah.
So if you need to revisit him, you can do it different eras. But I do think that some characters need to be killed off permanently in that particular sense, that they don't need to be there going forward.
Davros has had a few really good stories with New Who. the two-parter with David. I think it was a two-parter with Peter also, where Peter gets into his wheelchair and scoots into the room with the Daleks and says something along the lines of, "This is your worst nightmare, isn't it?" I feel like Davros has had his time, along with the Daleks. I think someone mentioned kind of like what we've talked about through Star Trek Picard with the Borg. There's some enemies that need a rest, and
Yeah.
if they killed him off and brought him back in a way that he's in a new body, if they let him go for a while and bring him back, maybe it could work if it's done well. Otherwise, just give him a rest. Give him and the Daleks a rest. Let's meet some new villains.
This is
Gary, you were just talking about Blink.
If I could just respond to this comment here, this is why no one takes it left seriously, but of the virtual signaling, which is what you say about him getting out of the wheelchair. You think people on the left are saying we need to get Davros out of the wheelchair? No, these are stupid decisions made by corporate bigwigs who think that this is the right way to go. This is not a left or right thing whatsoever. This is not. There's no one on the left who are saying, we need to get him out of a wheelchair when he's always been in a wheelchair. Bloody what's his name was in a wheelchair. Blofeld, one of James Bond's biggest villains before he got killed off. By Roger Moore in oh god, that film escapes my name now. But this is not a right or left issue. This is somebody upstairs thinking we should do this, not to piss off people in wheelchairs. But the reality is, all they're doing is pissing off Doctor Who fans by making unnecessary changes. And these are left wing fans, because most Doctor Who fans tend to be left wing.
I'm going to say that I think it's really dumb, because for a start, the whole point of Davros is that he's been twisted by his physical, that he's been in that position for it, and he's twisted him into wanting genetic perfection, and that's what he got with the Daleks. And I do agree what everyone said, that they need to have a rest, because what made Dalek the episode really good is that we thought they all died, and then we have this one that goes around killing people, but it also brings out a side of the Doctor we haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. And we need a villain like that brings out a side of the Doctor we haven't seen before, brings out that evil, that side where all the rationality and jovialness and stuff like that goes away, and we just see him for being the warrior that he is, and that's what we need to see. And that's why I think the Daleks need to go away for a while. Just even if it's just I don't know, I won't say the side of it, but even if it's the Sea Devils, just gives us a villain that as soon as he sees them, he goes full on flaming, Hitler on him, and he goes they all need to die.
You would think that the Doctor would have an issue with having to fight the same people so often that it would piss him off to a degree, and he would get fed up and would lose his
Daleks
mind
again.
Daleks again, Cybermen again, all of these people again. He'd probably get fed up of it. So they need to show that, I can't keep doing this all the time, even though I'm probably eternal or whatever. Even I get fed up of having to deal with the same shit constantly. So I'm totally cool with that.
Give some of the iconic villains a rest, so that we can make room for new villains like the Angels. That was something new with Tennant's Doctor, and they've become an iconic Who villain alongside the Cybermen and the Daleks.
We need to see Basta Narada again. Maybe Boom will have them off that one. Boom. Maybe that'll have Basta Narada.
River's my favorite story arc, so
yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree.
I agree. And the thing is that it doesn't also have to be this grand thing where we have these villains coming back over and over again. You can come up with new stuff like the Ood would do, and they're great. The Weeping Angels are great. They've been new. The Vashnu and the cat. Is it
Vashnu Narada?
Oh my God, that's terrifying to think about that.
And it's a villain he didn't defeat. They just got to go run away.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, I mean, like the way where he just goes, what are they? It says space flaming piranhas. It says they live in darkness. It says not on Earth. It says people go missing on Earth, don't they? I just went, yeah, they do. Fucking hell. And it's actually thinking about. Yeah. Like just that is, and that's a terrifying thought. Here's a villain that he cannot defeat because they literally are everywhere. And he's literally like, they should definitely come back. Like the bit when, I was going to spoil something for Zam. Zam, watch that episode. You might want to put your fingers in your ear for while I was about to spoil something.
Has the US government ever been an enemy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
but,
the master turns himself into everyone on the planet, so he becomes the president of the United States.
Yes.
And
He also becomes the Prime Minister.
That's
a good one.
awesome.
He also becomes the Prime Minister. That
was John Sim. That was so good.
John Sim.
Actually, I do remember one episode now. It was the one where the whole world was in the traffic jam, and like the people in the cars were like cats. It was set in America, I think.
Oh yeah, that was David.
Yeah,
I remember that one. I have to watch that one on a plane.
There's an episode in the Matt Smith era, which is terrifying, where Karen Gillan and the guy who was in Flaming, Arthur, what's his face?
Arthur
yeah, like are on top of like a building in New York, and they're watching. All you hear is poof, 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 and they get transported back, and then you look what's transporting them, and it's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they turn the statue. Every statue is an angel.
Let me respond to Uncle Burrito here. I used to be a Doctor Who fan. I stopped watching it after the movie, and I'm hoping that these guys will get me back on the bandwagon.
Cheeto.
Yes,
and you're next.
I'm going to be born again, Cheeto.
Born again Who fan. I love it.
Yeah,
we're giving you episodes. Well, I'm giving you episodes in this subtly to watch. Like that, all that are all on iFlyer for you to go through. So like the Silence in the Library, like Blake, like Daleks, like stuff like that. Stuff that is just
good jumping on points. You don't have to know a whole lot of lore behind it.
Yeah. Just really good, well written horror stories.
Vincent and the Doctor.
Oh god, yeah. I rewatched that recently.
The one that really got to me was The Empty Child. My God.
Yeah.
Are you my mommy?
John Barrow.
Oh, even now, feeling that, give me bloody chills. That's just like,
Are you my mommy? And that was one where Christopher Eccleston says, "Just this once, everyone lives."
Yeah.
And it was true. Every episode says that someone died.
Yeah, just awesome stuff.
Yeah. We'll get you a list, Sam.
Yeah. I'll give you somewhere to start with. That's what I want. A starting point.
All right.
You can mention the Christmas in it.
Because you don't need to watch all of. There are some bad episodes that you can absolutely skip.
I don't mind about whatever season or.
Do you want to start with the bad episodes?
No, but I want to start in. I want to be like a continuous. That's what I want because regardless if whatever series you watch, there's gonna have a dud episode or two in the season. So I'm fine with that, and maybe it might be done for you guys. It could be the greatest episode I've ever seen in my entire life for me.
There's one episode that is universally hated. That I could.
The guy is in the.
I wonder what that is.
Love for the Monsters.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Zam, Peter Kay's in it, and he plays the bad guy.
Peter Kay, the stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's another fun fact about it. The villain was dreamt up by a child on Blue Peter.
Yeah. Competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, regarding stand-up, I've always said that stand-up comedians are the best actors. So hopefully,
PK wasn't.
No, all right, fair enough. There's an exception to the rule, I guess. Yeah,
I could do Peter Kay's performance, but I won't do it here. But back to this. So the hopes for me, and I'll start with myself again, is that this will just be a well-written episode where we get some resolution to what what Ruby is, like maybe like she's a space child and stuff like that. And also, I do agree with what you two were saying about the Daleks need to be taken a rest. I don't know. Is there any other well, the certain villains I think need to go away just in general, like the Slovenes need to go away. I hate those.
Slovene.
I can't stand them.
The Centaurans. Yeah, let's give some of them a rest. Maybe sprinkle them in, but I agree.
Yeah. Like the one that I wish would come back is bloody Cassandra because she was so fucking good.
Lady Cassandra,
Zoe Wanamaker's performance is so fucking good, isn't it? And it looks so cool, and you wouldn't think that this like stretched out skin would be terrifying, but it is. She's
I'm the last human.
She's the last human being on Earth.
She's a trampoline.
And she's a trampoline, yeah.
What the fuck? It sounds like fucking Monty Python.
No.
Just Google it real quick. Lady Cassandra, Doctor Who.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Googling it now.
Yeah. So I'd say films like that need to come back. But I do agree with what you two were saying that. Like,
oh my god. Oh
You've
my
seen it.
god.
You've seen it.
There's something not right about that, man. Oh my god. Okay.
This tries me.
It was it was one of the more controversial choices in the early tracks, but it's kind of like fitting what happens to it. Alexia, how about yourself? What do you want from the new series? Is there any villains you want to come back? Is there any villains you want to go away?
Oh god. Well, we were promised the third and final encounter with the Guardians. So Black and White Guardian, and that's an encounter. That's actually a concept they could just actually that would fit what Russell T Davies has kind of implied, sort of more godlike beings. Obviously the actors are dead, but so White Guardian and the Black Guardian, that might be something. Could there be some scope in an Omega story? Obviously that requires a bit of backstory. You've got to know a bit about Gallifrey and the Time Lords, and a new young audience won't. So it's the question of how much Russell T Davies. I imagine he's in the first season of this era. He's not going to want. Pardon me, not going to want to, do too much exposition. We'll have to see, but it does appear, because the trailer doesn't have any Daleks or Cybermen, does it? Will it be like season 11? Will it be completely devoid of the big hitters for the season? That might be a good idea for a new audience.
Need to make more villains, in my opinion. Always.
Yeah, which Chris Chibnall didn't. See, one of the things about that is Chris Chibnall's first season didn't give us any. He gave us a silly monster and some not very good monsters and villains. So hopefully Russell T Davies will come up with something. Thing is, Moffat has won the Moffat era episode. Boom. He's the guy. He came up with Weeping Angels, Vashta Nevada, The Silence, and he's had 8 years or something? No, not 8 years, 5 or 6 years to come up with something. Maybe it'll be a whole new concept, but if he does do something like bring back the Vashta Nevada, awesome. That's it.
Can't forget The Silence.
Okay. How about you, Lord Duncan? Is there any villains you want to come back, or any villains you want to go away?
Villains to come back? That's a tricky one, because all I can think of right now are the more common ones. But I want to see new stuff. I don't necessarily want to see too much villains coming back. So I'm hoping that there will be a lot of new stuff. We've got Jinx coming in as the Maestro, or what was her character going to be?
The Maestro.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. Just new stuff. And again, like I said earlier, let's leave room for some of that darker side of the Doctor that they've been leaving out.
Maybe they could do something that follows like the Flash, where the Flash ends up fighting his future self, who's turned evil. and I would like to see. I'm not sure if Doctor Who's done this, but maybe
Right.
there is there's a Doctor
Trial of
who-
a Time Lord.
Well, like he himself though, he has to battle himself from a different era.
Valiant.
Who is like, have they done that?
You know?
Yeah, the Valiant was a future Doctor who was evil.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Well, then maybe they can bring him back. You know, like all of that. You know, a bit like they do with the Flash and stuff like that.
You know, one thing Chibnall did do that was kind of cool with the last season there with the Flux, they stepped outside the universe, and it seems like all of the big three, the holy trinity that I like to call Who, Trek, and Wars, we're always staying in our one universe. We hardly ever step outside of our galaxy or step outside of our universe.
Right.
So there's
We're talking
always
parallel universe.
Yeah, Star Trek's got the mirror universe. We could see a dark mirror version of the Doctor. They could do all sorts of things if they took that step to go explore other realities.
I don't want to change the subject to Star Wars and Star Trek too much, but I'm cool with that being in Star Trek. But the idea of parallel universes and time travel in Star Wars, I just don't feel it needs to go. It's not that type of show. It's to deal with like with like the space Nazis with the Empire, and that's what it's more based about. Rebels and going up against the evil, the Jedi versus the Sith, and all of these sort of things, and these space gangsters, all of that. That's really what I like
Space
about it
Wizards,
more.
too.
It keeps it a bit more grounded, but it just happens to be in space. Obviously, the more fantasy elements is the Force and stuff like that. But I would be happy to see parallel universes in Doctor Who. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be really awesome.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to myself. As I said, that I want to see but I do agree with you about the new villains. They need to bring up some new villains for Shooty to face. What about if you remember the third 6-year special when the Time Maker went away? There was a hand that grabbed the
Master's tooth.
Yeah.
So they left the door open for the Master to come back.
But then Russell T Davies came out and said that he definitely wouldn't. But then Moffat also said that rule one, the showrunner's lie.
Yeah, that's fine if they can let the Master have a break too. We had David had a good Master, Peter had a good Master, Jodie even. I mean that last special with I don't know his name, but the Rasputin song.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
He improvised that dance.
Did he? Oh, that was great.
Sasha Dewan.
They can, 11 didn't have a Master, so give him a break too, or them.
Okay. Okay. So does anyone know what the title of the first episode is going to be at all?
Do we say it was
Space Baby?
Space Baby.
Space Babies. I love that name already, man.
Remember, we're opening on a double bill. It's going to be Space Babies followed by The Devil's Chord, and that's the music one. That's the Beatles and Jinx Monsoon.
Oh yeah.
So are they going to imply that the Beatles are the devil?
They're going down Abbey Road.
I've driven on it loads of times, by the way. Loads of times. So many dickheads are fucking crossing the road. The zebra crossing there, and all trying to. I don't want to actually call them dickheads as an insult because, you think Justin Bieber or anybody in today's world of music is going to leave a legacy like the Beatles, where people are still mimicking the fucking album cover after 50 years? No, none of these motherfuckers will. So yeah, amazing.
I'll tell you of something woke though. It's wokeness 20 years ago or something. Is that Abbey Road poster where they're crossing the road? I think one of them is it John Lennon was smoking a cigarette and they airbrushed out the cigarette.
Yeah. Well, what they did in 1982 with E.T. like the cops were carrying guns and they airbrushed that out and turned them into walkie-talkies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's everything. But what I would say is that before we start, because Zam is brand new to everything, we give you one episode that he must watch as soon as he can. So we all give him.
And when you give me that, you name me that episode, and then in the chat later, give me the name of that episode again, so I don't fucking forget it.
Okay, so we'll start with Lord Donkey because I don't think I've started with you. What episode would you recommend to Zam for the
mine would be a two-parter. It's Silence in the Library and The Forest of the Dead. It's with Alexis Kingston as River Song. River's, like I said, River's my favorite story arc that Russell helped Moffat introduce, and then Moffat just ran with it through 11 and 12. So that's my recommendation.
Okay.
Alexia, what would be the one episode, or it could be multiple episodes you would recommend to Zam to get him into Who?
Let's see, somebody already took Blink. Hello, Lily. So I've got cats here. I hope the cats can't sense the presence of those birds.
Yeah.
No.
And,
I want the cats to sense the presence. I'm going to look, you can't get me. You can't get me.
There you are. There's some treats. We've got some greenies. And, right. Sorry, question. Right, we'll say Blink's been recommended. I do love Vincent and the Doctor. If you like the historical episodes, the biopic, that kind of thing, Vincent and the Doctor is awesome. And that is by Richard Curtis, curiously enough. But you may know Blackadder and things like that. And other episodes I really love. Another Tennant one I love is The Girl in the Fireplace. And that's it. We didn't mention the Clockwork Robot. We could have more of them.
Peter, they brought them back with Peter.
They did, indeed.
They could definitely come back.
Yeah. So there you go.
You like Blackadder, Alexia?
Oh, yeah. That's what the classic. I thought everybody did.
I have in my cab. I've had Michael McInnery, who played Captain Darling.
Oh wow!
And Tony Robinson, who's been Baldrick in all of them. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was filming Time Team at the time when I picked him up.
Yeah. So any others, Alexia, before you?
Oh, any more? I don't know. Well, Matt Smith's my favourite actor, the Doctor of New Who. And let's see, God. And I think everything's one we said actually, another one we said, Empty Child. Well, Empty Child /
It's a good one with 9.
Yeah, that's a good night Doctor one. Maybe do one for each New Who Doctor.
Yeah,
so Dalek Child for the 9th Doctor. We've said a few David Tennant ones.
Yeah, do Silence for David, do Vincent
for 11.
But don't forget about Blink. That's a good one.
Capaldi. Capaldi meets the Clockwork droids in Deep Breath. And I thought there were some good Jodie ones. I think in her first season it was the historicals that worked. Obviously the Rosa Parks episode.
Oh, really? A Rosa Parks episode? Interesting.
Yeah. So I would recommend you. I'd recommend you Blink. I'd recommend you. Actually, a lot of the ones that people said, Dark, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, definitely get those work. And so we're going to be looking forward to next Saturday, and we will be doing a review on this channel. So please tune into that. Has anybody got anything they want to promote before we end the stream?
Check out my Star Wars Tales of the Empire review, which is currently on the tube right now. I did that yesterday night. It's much better than Tales of the Jedi. I highly recommend it. It's currently on Disney Plus. Watch all 6 episodes. Each episode is less than 20 minutes long, so you can consume it all within an hour and a half quite easily. So yeah, I highly recommend that.
Okay. With that, that is we're going to see you next on Saturday. So please tune in then. With that said, I'm Gary. This is Alexia, Donkey, and Zam, and we're here for YouTube, the channel you kind of sort of heard of by now. Bye.
Bye.